The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN, 8:30 a.m. Wednesday morning, 60 minutes to go until that opening bell. And don't say it, folks. Are we coming into some negative action on the day? I don't believe it. It's possible, but we'll see. We got 60 minutes to go until the opening bell. Markets, a little bit of a pullback to kick things off. All things in context, we had a little bit of a sell-off yesterday. We're going to start things off with the chart of the S&P. S&P is negative 11 points right now, 36.48. You got the NASDAQ off 49 points, 12,402. The Dow off 130 points, 29,672. You got the Russell off 7 points as well at 1828. Got to check on Bitcoin with the volatility Bitcoin's been having. Quite the few days it's had. You back it up to last week. Bitcoin was almost at 20,000. Then we're almost at 16,000. Then we're back to 20,000. Then we're under 18.5. We're sitting 19,420 in Bitcoin. Got the gold contract up $7 at 18.26 on the session. Silver's flat at 24.09. Notes and bonds, a little bit of higher price after the sell-off yesterday right now going on. 2 ticks higher in the 10-year to 137.16, and you got the 30-year flat right now at 172.21. We'll jump over to the VIX this morning. A little bit of a pullback in the markets. You're seeing a slight elevation in the VIX, but you're up 9 cents right now from the close yesterday of 20.86. Jumping back to the S&Ps. So we make a high last night at about 245. There's your action, right? You get a little bit of a sell-off. We're looking at 15-minute bars from 245 to a price point down at about 315. We're sitting at about 36.56. That's somewhat where you end the session at 36.56. We're slightly lower at about 36.48 right now. All things considered, folks, some context, quite a month that the markets had in November. We're hanging up here right near we're at all-time highs right now in the S&P. You were above 30,000 in the Dow. How about the NASDAQ getting up there at 12,512? That's a high print for the NASDAQ as well. And the Russell charging higher in a big way, right near the upper boundary line of that channel line I got. The Russell trading at 1828 right now, down about 7 points. But it's remarkable, folks. You're up 100% basically almost from the lows that we had. Yeah, that would put it at about 1,900 would be the lows. We made it to 1863, almost a double bagger for the Russell from the lows that we had back in March. Okay, what we got going on? We got a lot going on, as usual, lately. Pfizer getting a pop this morning from 39.41 up to about 40.84. Jumping over to the story, the headline is the UK clears COVID vaccine. First shots next week. Pretty cool. Government says 800,000 doses ready for delivery from Belgium. And the headline they put it, that is, quote unquote, the first Western country. There you go. First Western country to approve COVID-19 vaccine with its regulator clearing Pfizer and BioNTech shot ahead of decisions in the U.S. and the EU. I wonder if they preface that first Western country because Russia seems to have pushed this out many months ago on the forefront of science and technology. The Russians, I kid. But Russia pushing theirs out ahead of everybody else, not quite waiting for all the data like some of the more Western countries are. Emergency authorization clears the way for the deployment of the vaccine that Pfizer and BioNTech have said 95% effective, right? So you're seeing a little bit of a pop in Pfizer. Not so much the same in Moderna. Did you see the action in Moderna yesterday? Maybe you saw the action in Moderna yesterday. Were you a buyer at 178.57? Somebody was a buyer when this thing opened at a high of 178.50. I repeat, 178.50. And you just lost $40+ to the downside. We're trading at 135.81. Folks, in this market, Tom and I were talking about it, my dad on the show yesterday at 10 o'clock. All right. He loved, the 3-gap play here. He brought it up right away. This thing was trading, putting it on some context. There's your 15-minute for Moderna. And it was a one-way straight shot to the downside, folks. You gapped from about 150 and change to open at almost 180. So you had like a $30 gap originally, okay? Now, we closed that gap. But when these charts opened yesterday, you had 1, 2, and there was the third gap. You opened basically at the high. There it is, 178.50, and then kaboom. We trade lower, and this morning we're going to open up at about 135. So already we're within the second gap. And, man, Moderna couldn't ask for better results for their vaccine. Their vaccine allows for refrigeration storage for a period of about 30 days, making it a little bit easier to distribute. The process of distributing that when you allow for 30 days regular refrigeration, nonetheless, you're talking about a stock that just went in the month of November from a price point of 70 to 180, and we're back to about 140. Things getting a little bit out of whack from Moderna, and traders whacking it down to the downside yesterday. Speaking of out of whack, Tesla, a little bit of volatility near the 600 price point, quite the acceleration higher. We're talking about from 270 back in August. You're talking about a run from November 16th alone. You go from 400 to 600. That's a 50% acceleration from 400 to 600 from November 17th. It's December 2nd. But guess what, folks? Things getting a little dicey here. A little dicey, to say the least. I mean, we haven't seen any strength in Tesla since they announced, the S&P announced, that they will be added all at once December 21st. Okay, 3 weeks from 2 days ago. Okay, so 2 weeks from this coming Monday, almost 3 weeks away, December 21st. All right, the cool thing about that is that December 18th, let me see if this opens up. Here we go. December 18th is quad witching. Third Friday of December. Okay, you're going to get the weeklies, you're going to get the monthlies, you're going to get the quarterlies, the yearlies. Everything, folks, is expiring on that Friday. You get quad witching, along with the fact that that is the day before Tesla gets added on Monday, the 21st. You want some volatility? Strap in to your chair on December 18th and get ready for the ride, folks, because, man, nobody knows what's going to happen when you got to add a company that's to the tune of 600 billion, almost 550 billion market cap. You got to put that in all at once. And it's going to be the 6th or 7th largest company when they are added, which is remarkable. You pull up a heat map of the S&P 500 and you start looking at the companies. So there's Visa at about 450 billion. Okay, so we're going to be a bigger piece of the pie than Visa. I'm trying to find a comparable somewhere. Johnson & Johnson, no, that's about 400. NVIDIA's 330. Yeah, so we're going to be pretty big here. Microsoft's 1.6. That's a juggernaut. But as I mentioned, they're going to be somewhere between Berkshire Hathaway and Visa, I believe. So there's Visa, about 450 billion. So you're going to be slightly larger than Visa when you come into this index, and you see how many small companies may possibly be affected, as in you got to take market cap away from them, because Tesla's going to come in at about $550 billion December 21st. But as I mentioned, you got the acceleration higher on Monday night on that news. But since we've been trading, folks, you were at 597 yesterday. No strength at all. Sell off right out of the bat. You're not even positive. Overnight, all negative action. We're about $20 south on Tesla when the market's only down about 12 points. And boy, if you see a pullback in the markets, folks, you are going to see some volatility in Tesla, because you had, for some context, Tesla's just an exacerbated run. I just went over how the S&P was up about 10% for the month of November, while Tesla was up about 50 to 60%. So if you get a pullback of 5 to 10% in the S&P, we'll find out what's going to happen in Tesla, but it's going to be a wild ride, folks. Stay tuned. We're going to go over Salesforce when we come back. They got earnings.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live, and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We have the S&P's minus 12. I got a chart here again with Moderna. So, Tom, my daddy's watching the programs. Hey, Dad, how are you doing out there? He's sending us all the good updates, folks. Moderna, I had not seen this article yet, but interesting here. Merck. So Merck got out there of their entire stake. So this article, news, I should say, even published in the last hour and a half, and I'm guessing that's where that 7 a.m. drop is, folks, from about 150 to 135. So what you have is you have Merck taking their profits and getting out. I was thinking, man, you got a lot of really bright people in a company like Merck, the size of, and if they say, hey, we're getting out of this stock in the middle of the fourth quarter because this thing has skyrocketed in a way that we could not imagine at the beginning of the year when you were at $17. You're talking about a 10-bagger at 178. Now, they said they got out anywhere. Let's see where it says. Moderna fell in pre-market trading after Merck said it sold its stake in the biotech company. Merck sold its equity investment in Moderna in the first half of the fourth quarter. Okay, so no terms were given. Moderna shares are down as a result of that, as you may expect. So first half of the quarter, you're talking about you started the quarter off at 62, and then we'll fast forward to the middle of October, and we got up to 80. Okay, so they might be saying this somewhere in there. You had Merck dumping their entire stake from 60 to 80. All right. I don't know. Maybe they didn't think that you could get a 95% effective. Maybe, we're traders out there, folks. Most people, if you're watching this program, are a trader. Can't make money if you don't take profits, folks. And you back it up. I mean, we were at $11 last year, right? You come into this year. I mean, look where we were. Maybe we peaked over $20 occasionally, going all the way back to April of last year. But the entirety, from basically June all the way through the end of the year, you were under $20. Okay, so you made it up to a high of 95 in July, and Merck probably panicked because they made it to 95, and before they knew it, they were back down to 54. You make it back up to 80 or so in October. Merck took their money off the table. If you're an investor in this equity, pay attention to that, folks, okay? Merck understands value probably in that sector as an investor tremendously, and they were taking their money at 80. So, who's to say where this thing ends up? Right now, we're trading at about 135. And yeah, they missed this huge run up, but who's to say it might be back to 100 or 80 before we know it in that company. But interesting news as Moderna falls after Merck sells their stake. I'm probably wishing they held on a little bit longer, but after seeing the drop from 180 to 35, folks, you can't. Larry was talking about on his program yesterday. Somebody saying, man, it really eats me up or something, missing out on profits, right? All of us. It's like, if we just held on a little longer, you're never going to get the top tick, folks. It's always going to be a battle. So the mental battle that we deal with as traders to get over that mentality, the hump of missing out on profits. If you want that last tick, more power to you. But many times you're going to be waiting for it. And before you know it, the stock will drop from 180 to 130 and you'll lose $50. So, if you got out on anywhere on this equity with a 7-bagger, a 10-bagger, that's probably what Merck is thinking this morning. Okay, what else we got going on? Salesforce is out with their numbers. They are buying Slack for $27 billion, marking cloud software vendors' largest deal ever. Quite a deal. Prior to this, they had a $15 billion purchase of Tableau and a $6 billion purchase of MuleSoft. And they're going to be kind of bumping up against Microsoft in yet another market with the companies already going head-to-head in sales software, data visualization, and productivity tools. So CRM, we have some CRM in the newsletter. All right. And we're trading down this morning on this. Folks, if you're looking to get into this equity, okay, as a long-term investor, they're the best player in the area that they're in. They've been added to the Dow. The last time they came out with their numbers, just gangbuster numbers, and amazing that we're back down to 227. You could start a partial position here, right? You scale in, maybe 227. Maybe you let it close this gap. Excuse me. The other thing you can do in these types of equities, if you want to be a long-term investor, folks, you can sell a put below the market. Okay? Worst case scenario. It depends. They're both good scenarios, actually. I was going to say worst case, two scenarios that both are pretty advantageous. If you do not need to be in this equity, right? Because the one risk really is the opportunity cost that you sell a put, the equity does not get down to that level, you don't purchase it, you only profit the put, and any time that your biggest risk is only profiting X dollars, that's not a bad scenario. But you sell a put, it doesn't get down there, you don't get assigned the equity, and then it trades higher and you miss your entry, okay? There's going to be a lot of opportunities in this market for the foreseeable future, folks. Don't be afraid of missing some of the runs. I mean, look at this volatility in CRM, and before you know it, we're going to be below these lows. You're talking about a low here of almost 229. Yeah, and 228.66 is the low anywhere we've been. Other than that, you're talking about prior to their earnings in August with a high of 209. Is that right? No, 218.35. And we're going to open at 227 right now. But you could sell a put. There's a lot of volatility priced into these equities. And if you don't get assigned, you absorb that premium, you move on, and maybe you do it again. But good value there. We were just up to 284 following their last numbers. We're going to be back down to about 227 right now following their acquisition. And it's a big one of Slack for $27 billion. Okay, what else we got going on out here? Where are we? Here's where, well, let's jump to mortgage first. Mortgage demand from home buyers spiked 28%. Average loan amount since a record high. Housing market, pretty amazing. Applications to purchase a home jumped 9% last week from the previous week, 28% higher annually. Applications to refinance fell 5%, but were an impressive 102%. I mean, you compare it to where we were a year ago, right? December of 2020, folks. You want to talk about where we were? Let's pull up the note. And you go back to December. Yeah, how about 10 full points lower? And that's because the yield was, what was it, like 1.7 something, 2% maybe? It's staggering. So year over year, yeah, an amazing difference. But that housing market continues on. And what else we got for the first time ever, folks? We got NFL matinee football on Wednesday afternoon, 3:40 p.m. Eastern time. You got a kickoff between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers undefeated this season. This game was supposed to be played on Thanksgiving. Then it was supposed to be played on Sunday. Then it was supposed to be played on Monday. Then they tried it on Tuesday. And this COVID virus, folks, it is I think seeing how this plays out in professional sports, because you actually get to track how long the virus is active and dormant, where there's just continuing positive cases, right? Everybody's separated. They know it's spreading throughout the team. And every day you have new cases, stretching 5, 6, 7 days out. Nonetheless, they finally think they're going to get it done. Today at 3:40 p.m. Eastern time, you'll have the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers as the NFL tries to navigate a season during a pandemic. And lots of volatility out there in terms of where they go. But nonetheless, for the first time ever, we got Wednesday football at 3:40. And interesting in terms of how money plays into things when you look at how they had to make that decision. They were trying to do it maybe even potentially Wednesday night. But guess what? NBC said, no. We're revealing the Rockefeller Christmas tree on Wednesday night. And there's no way we're going to preempt that for NFL football. The NFL said, hey, what are we going to do? We'll put our game at 3:40 in the afternoon because that Christmas tree in Rockefeller Center, man, it's going to get launched tonight. That is on NBC tonight. I'm going to be checking that out. Stay tuned, folks. Come right back with a couple things we'll talk about to wrap up the program. Stay tuned.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archived workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps just hanging up here, up 12 points. NASDAQ up 50. We haven't had much movement. I'll put it on 1 minute so you can see the action. I mean, this whole hour, we've been, half hour, we've been within 2 points of the S&P, just waiting for that opening bell mark. So we got a lot going on right now, folks. On the front page of TFNN, Our man Larry Pesavento, he's coming up next with Trade What You See 1 week from today. He will not be doing his program because he will be in there live, a live trading webinar, a live trading event, folks. He's going to be in there, a 5-hour live webinar, live trading and methodology, talking about how he trades the markets, how he uses ABCs, when he's not using ABCs, trend trading. He's got the whole list of what he's going to be talking about here a week from today, Wednesday, 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. That will be archived. If you sign up, you gain access to a month of Fibonacci 24/7. That's $97 right there. For all of you who attended any of Larry's prior full-day trading events this year, talking about, I think he's done a couple of them, you'll gain access to this event as well. So for those of you signing up for the first time, it should be a great crowd out there, a great community asking questions. That'll be live a week from today. It will be archived. Check it out on the front page at TFNN.com. And also, TAS Profile Scanner. If you haven't tried it, folks, this is the month to do it. We got a special going on. Steve Dahl, TAS Profile Scanner, they just upgraded their software. For you current subscribers out there, you'll be receiving an email probably later today. You'll be able to upgrade that software with a couple new features, new tools that have been added. Right now, you can save $100 off your first month. Just use the promo code UPGRADE at checkout. You add that code, you'll see the $100. Still comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And we're going to be talking to our man, Steve Dahl. He's coming on the program with Tom and I at 10:15 this morning. So if you're around, check that out. TAS Profile Scanner, folks, an amazing program. I use it. Tom uses it. I know our man Steve Rhodes uses it a tremendous amount. Check it out. You can save $100 off your first month. Normally, it's $197 for this month alone. Enter promo code UPGRADE, and you'll save $100. Get that first month for $97. Still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you got nothing to lose. Don't forget about Larry, folks. Sign up a week from today. You start that newsletter. You'll be rocking and rolling for his live trading session.